Vijay is known as a silent person. That's one of his attributes. Silence can be good or bad, uh, but generally people are scared of silent people because they fear that they might do something rather than discussing issues. There's even a Tamil proverb, "Uma ura kadukkum, perichali pera kadukkum," which means that silent people are up to no good. But that's not necessarily the case. Silence can also mean intensity, right? So Vijay is a person who always sets a goal on his mind and goes all out to achieve it. But the concern is that maybe he has an element of selfishness. Remember, he even fought with his own parents or his own father. So he has an element of selfishness and an element of ego. He is relatively young after all in his journey. And for somebody who was just laser focused on being the biggest star, he didn't show any big tendency to do any major welfare activities or social activities or even talking to people so much in the initial part of his journey. He was just focused on Rajini as his idol, and he showed that a lot in his movies, and he kept working hard to get to a position. But now the sudden turnabout and attention to politics and idol changing from Rajini to MGR, all these phenomena are quite interesting. So Vijay is at a crossroads in terms of his career. The person that he considered as his idol, he's still actively working in cinema, and younger heroes are coming up below him. And so he's at a situation where he's unable to grab the superstar title, like he got the Ilaya Thalapathy title from the other actor Saravanan, and also he got the Thalapathy title, although the Honorable Stalin is in fact having the title, but since they're in different fields, that isn't much of an issue now. So his journey to stand up to what he called as trying to wear the father's shirt, or some would say trying to assume the throne, or the prince trying to become a king and depose the existing king, has met with a kind of a controversy, and so he now is certainly looking for fresh direction, and he's kept separating himself from Rajini, and now he wants to really show that he's not in any way like Superstar. He's trying to show that he's very different. So how does he put his foot down and say that I am not him, I'm not like him at all? So now remember very carefully what I said earlier. Vijay is a relatively silent person. He will not talk on stage about things, but he will more show it in his action, for better or for worse. So number one, you saw in his movies how he changed from showing Rajini as his idol to MGR as his idol. So you saw that, and you saw him arrange another hero, Sarath Kumar, to call him as the next superstar on stage, right? Or at least he didn't refute it when Sarath Kumar said such a thing, right? So he already showed those things through his action. Now, what are the two main attacking points that Vijay is putting on Rajinikanth now in the latest round? Although Rajini in recent audio launch function of movie Lal Salam already called out Vijay's name and said that he has no ill will towards Vijay, and Vijay is somebody who he saw grow up and become a star. The first thing that Vijay is showing to Rajini through his action is the way he's committed to politics. He says that without saying it, of course, that Rajini made a lot of promises, a lot of movements, a lot of film hints that he will definitely enter politics, and finally he announced it on stage as well, and backed off, citing COVID restriction, which was somewhat understandable. That time people were in a lot of phobia and a lot of panic regarding COVID. So that's what happened. However, Vijay wants to show that in fact, he might not say it so much, he will do it through his action. So that's why he very committedly said he will stop film acting, and also commit himself to opening a party flag and everything, without any hesitation or without any U-turn. But one must remember, this could be the dual strategy. For those who read comic books, there was this big hoo-ha about the Superman dying. Comic said the Superman is dying, and that comic book sold very, very well, because every fan saying we will not get Superman anymore. Then very smartly they revived Superman in another comic later. So this might be also a gimmick, just like something like Rajini did when he talked about he might not come into politics in the 90s films to keep the fans excited. So the question is it that Vijay is trying to make himself distant from cinema, just like Shah Rukh Khan did recently? So some heroes will use this strategy because remember it's a business and it's all about keeping the fans excited and making money, alright? That's why you see many times the income tax people are always going after the heroes. Shah Rukh Khan took a few years before coming back Pathan and Jawan as hits because people like got to see him too much already, so he needed to create a distance. Rajini took a break from films and then talked about interest in going to religious activities, going to Himalayas and so on, and also about that he might come to politics if the circumstances and time and God wills it, right? And then of course he committed, and I already told about what happened with the COVID, and he U-turned, right? So Vijay shows first attack against Rajini is that what Vijay is saying without saying is that this is what he's saying to Rajini. He's saying that, okay, look here, Rajinikanth, you talked on stage, you did not execute it. Okay, although Rajini, of course, is almost a politician. If you look at it, he hobnobs with PM Modi, Narendra Modi. He hangs out with the Malaysian Prime Minister last time, Najib Razak, and the recent Honorable Anwar Ibrahim. Right, he is met by VIPs, big tycoons everywhere he goes. Right, so Rajini is almost like, and when he went to Andhra and created a ruckus there with Chandra Babu Naidu and Roja as the minister fighting with him and all that. So he is a very, very good political operator, and there is a decent chance he could win if he had gone forward. But I think Rajini decided to U-turn not only because of it's also a political maneuver, I think, because maybe Vijay does not realize this, maybe he lacks some maturity, right? So one is to wrongfoot Kamal Hassan. You don't want any political party, maybe you can say DMK, to wrongfoot him and create a rift between his friendship between him and Kamal Hassan, because Kamal Hassan came after Rajini announced and committed after Rajini announced. If you see Kamal Hassan's earlier 1990s, 80s videos, he said he will never ever come to politics. So why he U-turned? So whether any money involved or whether any influence by parties, I don't know, DMK or involved, it's a question mark. Nobody's accusing anybody, but it's just a question mark, right? To confront Rajini, because DMK might want to neutralize Rajini, and so this will create a lot of ill will among the big stars, and maybe Rajini did not want to give the opportunity. On one side DMK, on the other side BJP, he also might feel that his spirituality or his love for God might be exploited by BJP, right? Because this is politics. You must understand that it's not like BJP want to do bad thing, but BJP will need to get votes. So that could be another concern of Rajinikanth for U-turning. And the other thing is Rajini was labelled as a Sanghi, and Rajini very clearly stated that just like Thiruvalluvar, one of the patron saints, intellectuals of Tamil Nadu, could not be modified into orange, his robe from white to orange into like a religious color. He says that no party can make him into any right-wing religious person, and in fact he respects and cares for all religion. One of his biggest hits was Basha, so he always had a soft spot there for his fellow Muslims. Not his fellow Muslims means I'm not saying that he's a Muslim, but he always feels that there are some people who are close to him, right? So you will see him appreciate that community in his films, unlike certain directors who show certain communities as extremists and so on. So Rajini faced like a kind of a situation where others can opportunistically label him as a right-wing religious bigot, or even if he made a honest decision, they will paint it as it's a religious decision and so on. So because DMK has been doing that quite well in the south by building up the ego of the south people and claiming that the north people are out to get them, and the north people are very right-wing religious bigots and so on. However, it fails to address the fact that if you go to other countries of certain minority religions, there is no way that the minorities have any rights near anywhere compared to democracy like India. So DMK is doing what it needs to do as a political party to win emotions and get votes in Tamil Nadu, and BJP is also trying to win votes and further its journey as a political party, right? So it's the public's decision which way to go. Okay, sorry, I went off in a bit of a tangent there. I'm just trying to explain Rajini's U-turn. So in the context of politics, Rajini's U-turn was probably a wise decision, something Vijay also might not have seen, because in politics, they say in love and war and politics, You can't be like so-called too nice, too direct, too honest, too this one, right? In other fields, in academics, in business, that is, in academics especially, honesty is very, very, very important. But if you do that in politics, people will chop you up. Your so-called enemies will immediately read your intentions. So that you should read look at Rajini's U-turn not in a moral context of just like as a normal film star, where he showed a lot of integrity by even what do you call it, giving back money for the producers in the Baba film debacle, but in the context of politics, okay. And by that same virtue, it's very possible that Rajini can U-turn again. And is there any law saying that Rajini now, today, or in 2-3 years from now, cannot come to politics? He can. What stops him from competing in the elections? Nothing. A lot of people forget. A lot of people talking as if Rajini will definitely not, or is definitely out of the race. So if Rajini is a smart political operator, I think he might keep his option and suddenly wrong foot everybody, including Kamal Hassan, by suddenly announcing his entry into politics. So that is something that will be very cool, and probably that would be something he absorbed from hobnobbing with people like Cho Ramaswamy, people like Karnanidhi, even to a certain extent Jayalalitha towards the end of her life. So in this scenario, the first attack of Vijay on Rajinikanth is that he is not a man of his word, right? Again, as I said, politics, but that's his decision. So therefore, he kept his plan and is leaving cinema. So Vijay's the first attack is that Rajini did not have the courage to enter politics really, but Vijay had it. Okay, that's the first attack. So what is Vijay's second attack, right? After the first attack to show off Rajini as a person who's unreliable, who will not do as he talks, what is second attack of Vijay? I will talk in another video, guys, because I see this already so long. I've been talking so long. We've discussed about the first point and the reason, because I wanted to flesh it out. I just didn't want to just like say, Vijay is attacking Rajini. What is attacking? Because Rajini did not come into politics. I want to like give you the big picture of what are the reasons that made everybody go in that direction. And also Vijay is also facing a lot of pressure. Recently he had this income tax coming towards him. He had problems with his Rolls Royce car. So he also is in a situation whereby if he just stays there, he might become an easy what do you call it, we might say target even, and other politicians might tell him to sort of do as they say, or else he might be having a very uncomfortable situation. He already had a lot of challenges under Jayalalitha, where his movie Thalapathy, because he put the movie as like it sounded like an affront to her. The tagline was a time to lead, so she felt like are you trying to challenge me, something like that, and he had to U-turn, V-turn, W-turn. I mean, he is now saying Rajini U-turn. Vijay made multiple U-turns and literally was crossed his hands and bent down and told. But humiliation is a common path towards success for any person's life. It doesn't make Vijay any less of a person in life. Sometimes you have to be careful how you journey in life. If you become too loud, then forces might act against you. So maybe Vijay learned that lesson at that time, right? So, but it seems like now he feels that Rajini is below him. He sort of looks down on him. He walked around the stage mockingly, saying crow, and in the jungle there are many animals, including crows, and mockingly walked around the stage. One, besides the silence, some people say it's a Twitter political party or internet political party, whereby there's lack of human-to-human contact, which the new generation might be okay with, because they are all used to the Google Meet and Zoom meetings, and they're used to not directly seeing somebody that they might support. But traditionally, older people do. And also we must remember that when we order things in the internet, sometimes you order something of size assuming it's like this, and it comes totally different from what you thought it was, because you didn't go and touch and feel and see the actual thing. So certain problems in politics, you cannot just sit inside a room in a bungalow and just say I want to be chief minister in 3 elections, and boom, it will magically happen. I don't have to go to jail like Nelson Mandela. I don't have to fight in the street. I don't have to get beaten up by police like Gandhi. I am just going to drop down and be a chief minister, right? I'm just going to put a number plate in my car and magically will happen. So it's still to a certain extent possible, as I said, with all these modern new generations. They are not so worried or care. They don't even care. They laugh at those old so-called freedom fighters and all. Many of them, not all of them. But yeah, the jury is still out, because if the older people are enough in number, he might face challenges for not going out and being with the people. So with that, I conclude my discussion on the first attack that Vijay has launched on Superstar Rajinikanth by his action. He's not a word person; he's an action person. Very interesting, isn't it? And soon we will see his second attack on Superstar Rajinikanth in the next video. Thank you guys. Share your comments, thoughts. Take care. Bye bye.